Welcome to your Astro Forecast for the week of September 9th, 2024. I'm Sarah Nicole. This is Twisted Goddess Tarot, and my mission is to help you navigate the cosmic energies with greater awareness. If you're watching right now, you are probably watching the replay. And if that's the case, leave a comment so I can come back and say hi to you. If you're new here, we do this every Monday where I chat about what's happening in the skies to bring light to how this week's astrology may affect you. Of course, this is going to be at a collective level. How these astrological events affect you personally is going to depend on how it is interacting with your personal birth chart. And I cannot tell you that without doing a full transit reading for you. All right, so what I've been doing recently on the Astro Forecast is I've been wearing a piece of my handmade macrame jewelry to kind of show you what is available and on my website. And I did not do that this week because all of my stuff is still packed away from a vending event I had this weekend. It was a rainy day yesterday, and so I took the day to just relax and put off unpacking everything, unpacking my car until today. So I'm going to do that after. So no jewelry feature this week, but we do have a less busy week than last week. Last week, the beginning of September was jam-packed with a lot of astrological transits, and we have a little bit of a break this week before we hop into next week where we have eclipse happening. So, all right, let's talk about today. First of all, it is the 9/9 portal. That is numerology though, rather than astrology. So I've already made a separate post about the 9/9 portal. If you're interested, you can check that out already. But today, Monday, September 9th, we do have Mercury moving into Virgo, where it is going to transit through until September 26th. So Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it's now moving into one of its home signs. So Mercury rules over Virgo. In Virgo, Mercury energy flows really harmonious, right? It's its home sign. Mercury in Virgo can really make us more practical, more analytical. It can help us notice the small details that we may have missed before. It's a really great time to get organized and get back on schedule if you've kind of fallen off of that a little bit. But do be aware that with Mercury in Virgo, be aware of being overly critical, both of yourself and of others. Okay. And then on Wednesday, September 11th, we have Mercury leaving its post-shadow period. So Mercury retrograde is over. Mercury retrograde ended on August 28th, right? But we've still been in the post-shadow period. So we've been in the period where Mercury is going back over where it was retrograde at. And on Wednesday, it's going to leave that post-shadow period. Oftentimes people don't really feel the pre-shadow and the post-shadow unless they're extremely energy sensitive or unless you're ruled by Mercury. So if you are Libra or Virgo rising or sun and you're ruled by Mercury, then you can have a tendency to feel those more subtle, softer energies of the pre-shadow and the post-shadow period of Mercury retrograde. So if you've still kind of been feeling that a little bit, I'm Mercury ruled. Mercury is my chart ruler. So if you've kind of been feeling that a little bit and you've been feeling like Mercury retrograde's over, but I don't feel like full clarity has returned. I feel like I'm still a little foggy or still a little confused or still having miscommunications or still having technology hiccups, right? Then after Wednesday, Mercury retrograde post-shadow will be completely over and you'll know that it's not that. Right. I've also, one thing I do want to talk about with this Mercury post-shadow ending and talking about Mercury retrograde has been over since August 28th. I have had some people reach out to me, and because Mercury retrograde is so talked about, it seems to be the thing that everyone wants to immediately say, this is happening because of Mercury retrograde, or I'm feeling this way because of Mercury retrograde. But I do want to remind you that we have an entire birth chart, right? And we have an entire birth chart that stays the same throughout our life, but then we have transiting energy. Like we're talking about, Mercury is moving into Virgo. So what that means for you is that Mercury is moving into the Virgo area of your chart, right? And so a full transit reading would help with this, but I recently did have someone reach out and they said that they were feeling very, very emotional, and why were they still feeling emotional if Mercury retrograde had passed? And I wanted to highlight the fact that Mercury is the planet of the mind. So it rules, when Mercury is retrograde, we can often be foggy, we can often be confused, right? We can often have miscommunication. If there is big emotional irregulation, then that's probably caused by something else, not by Mercury retrograde, not by Mercury retrograde post shadow, which is ending on Wednesday. That's probably something happening with the moon, or a transiting planet making a really hard aspect to your moon, or possibly something with Venus, right? Because Venus is love and relationships, or even something with Neptune happening, because Neptune is a water planet, right? So it rules over the water energy, which our emotions are part of the water energy. So that is one thing I wanted to touch on with Mercury leaving its post shadow period this week is, reminder, just because Mercury retrograde is like a buzz term in astrology, reminder that Mercury retrograde does not affect everything, right? It is the planet of the mind. So if it's something else that is happening, we can't really blame Mercury retrograde with that one, okay? Also on Wednesday, September 11th, we do have, hey Heather, we do have the first quarter moon at 19 degrees Sagittarius. So the first quarter moon happens when the sun creates a challenging square aspect to the waxing moon, while the energy of the moon is building and growing, while the light of the moon is growing. And this square aspect does create tension, and it pushes you to action. And that makes the themes of the first quarter moon focus, momentum, facing your fear, taking action, taking that first step towards a goal. So when we talk about manifesting with the moon, although a moon cycle is 4 weeks, we really only get 2 weeks of active manifestation time, from the new moon to the full moon. The other 2 weeks are the waning moon, and that's the time that we're supposed to be resting, we're supposed to be releasing, we're supposed to be reflecting and realigning before that energy starts building again. So the first quarter moon acts as a reminder that you are halfway through the active manifestation part of the lunar cycle, and it creates this tension to remind you that setting an intention at the new moon and then forgetting about it probably isn't going to bring your intention to fruition, and that there are some aligned actions that you have to take. What I always say is, if you take the actions that are within your circle of control, right, what you can control, then the universe will conspire with you to also take the actions that are out of your circle of control. The card for the first quarter moon in Sagittarius says to believe in your good luck. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of luck and abundance. So when we have a first quarter moon in Sagittarius, yes, we still do need to take some of those action steps, right? Because Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it's all about taking the actions. But also ruled by Jupiter, there's this energy of we have to make sure we're being optimistic, and this is something we really believe that we can achieve, right? That is the action, right? Believing that you can actually achieve it. So take that this week, especially on Wednesday when we have that first quarter moon, and make sure whatever intentions, go back to whatever intention you set at that new moon, and look back at it, and do you really believe that that can come to fruition for you? Do you believe that that's something that you can achieve, right? And if it's not, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's not something you believe you can achieve, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe then the aligned action would be adjusting that intention, right? And building up to something that you believe you can achieve. Also, under the first quarter moon, any crystals that you charge under the first quarter moon, any moon water that you make under the first quarter moon, any other spiritual tools that you charge under the first quarter moon are going to hold the energy of growth and taking action. So I like to charge like my carnelian crystals under the first quarter moon, something that's going to give me that oomph, right? Garnet is another good one, something that's going to give me that motivation, that energy to take action during times when maybe I don't have access to that first quarter moon energy. And then lastly, this week we have on Saturday, September 14th, we have Venus at 20 degrees Libra making a trine aspect to Jupiter at 20 degrees Gemini. So Venus trine Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter are considered the benefics in astrology. So what that means is that they bring growth, they bring abundance, they bring blessings more so than they bring challenges and struggles, right? So Venus and Jupiter are benefic planets, whereas Mars and Saturn are more challenging planets. So we have two benefic planets creating a harmonious aspect to each other. A trine energy is all about flow, right? Things flowing together harmoniously. So we have two benefic planets, two blessing type planets, coming together with this harmonious aspect, one that brings ease, one that brings support, okay? So since Venus is the planet of love and relationships and our relationship with other people, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with money, right? It's interpersonal relationship is what Venus is. And Jupiter is the planet of growth and blessings. And this is happening in an air sign, which is air signs are all about connection. This aspect is really inviting us to connect, right? So what this is telling us is that blessings come when we connect with others. When we connect, yes, networking is one thing, right? But this is more about connecting for connection's sake. What connections can you make with somebody? Not because you're trying to get something out of it, but because you just know that when we come together and when we support each other and when my weaknesses are helped by your strengths and my strengths help your weaknesses, when we just connect for connecting's sake, blessings do come. And this is kind of reminding us of that. So this would be a really good time to reach out to some friends, to also on Saturday is a really good day to shoot your shot. If you have a shot that you want to shoot, right? This is a really good day for that. So that is our Astro Forecast for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We do have a just a little bit of this week isn't so action-packed, right? Which is nice because we had an action-packed week last week and we're going into eclipse season next week. So take the break this week, take the little breather of some of those more difficult transits ending and a beautiful harmonious transit happening this week, and that first quarter moon in Sagittarius telling us to really believe in our good luck and to believe in our blessings. So this is really a beautiful week. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know in the comments. If you missed the beginning, this will be available for replay, so you can go back and watch the beginning, and you can also come back and watch this all week long to remind yourself what is happening in the cosmic dance. So much love.